And to judicial matters now, the appeals court on Monday will begin hearing the case of former leaders and members and fighters of the MRCD-FLN terror outfit, including Paul Rusesabagina, a former leader convicted of terrorism-related offenses. Ethan Toshibia now reports.
In September 2021, the High Court Chamber for International Crimes tried and convicted Paul Rusesabagina and 20 others who were accused of terrorism-related offenses and were sentenced to between 3 and 25 years in prison. Now, the time has come to appeal. The appeal is being considered by plaintiffs who have expressed dissatisfaction with calculations based on their claims at trial. Vincent Nsengiyumva was the executive secretary of the Nyabimata sector, where the militants attacked, shot and burned his car.
We've
been suing for damages, which the court has not taken into account. Especially, they said that there was no satisfactory evidence found, including those whose properties were looted and taken away by the militants. It is very difficult to find such evidence. With regard to grievance redress, the court ruled that the spouse of the victim should be paid 10 million Rwandan francs compensation. The one who lost their vehicles should be compensated with 5 to 5 million Rwandan francs. Each person who lost their parents be paid 5 million Rwandan francs. The one who lost their relatives be paid 2 million Rwandan francs. The injured and the disabled get between 2 to 4 million compensation Rwandan francs. The abductee is entitled to 300,000 Rwandan francs, while the public transport companies whose buses were burned down by the attacks, including Omega Express, receive 164 million Rwandan francs, while Alpha Express would get 80 million Rwandan francs, while the two people whose private cars were damaged in the attacks are entitled to 15 million Rwandan francs and 4 million Rwandan francs compensation respectively. The plaintiffs have appealed for an increase in the compensation package, which they say has been reduced to a minimum. The prosecution, on the other hand, appealed the sentence of the terror convicts because the court reduced it, as said by prosecution spokesperson Faustin Ngusi on the day the case was heard and ruled on September 20th last year. Especially for those who have been sentenced to a shorter prison term, where some were sentenced to 5 years, 20 to 25 years in prison, yet the prosecution sought life sentence. Some we charged them with multiple offenses. For instance, Sakara, whom we charged 14 offenses, and Rusesabagina with 9, but the court convicted them of fewer charges. Sakara was convicted of 4 crimes, Rusesabagina 2 crimes, Herman Nsengimana 1 crime, and others the same. The other appearance are some of the defendants who are seeking a mitigation of sentence, including Sabimana Kariste, the self-styled Sankara, who was sentenced to 20 years in prison. Paul Rusesabagina, who has not appeared in court since March 2021, did not appeal, but the prosecution is seeking to extend his 25-year prison sentence and convict him of all charges. Reporting for RwandaTV News, Ethan Toshibia.